fall out of a coconut tree? You
Angels.
exist in the context of time.
Mm,
Angels, I like that.
I know. I was just struck to call the listeners angels.
Maybe
I'm
Angels is the
ascending.
new. Yeah.
Dole. My angels.
Hi,
Oh,
Angels.
angel. Hi, angel. I like calling people and things angels. They are, because here they are.
Here they are.
Um, what's going on? Kyle is being tormented by the paranormal.
Yeah. So what are the specifics?
Just that headline alone is like
It's
enough for
incredible.
me.
Yeah. Well,
But
I think it could be hangover from Carlton because she did
yeah,
curse
I would
Kyle.
look. What was the word that popped up?
Larva.
La-
Larvae.
Kyle Richards tells Kelly Clarkson her house is haunted. Quote, very strange things happen. Well,
That's the demise
honey,
of your
that's not a
marriage.
haunting. That's just your decor choices.
And I think you're being haunted by the ghost of your relationship.
Yeah. I think you're being haunted by all your mirrored furniture. She says her California estate has a supernatural presence. And while most would probably run the other way upon hearing this, Clarkson's face immediately lit up.
Hmm.
Okay. The ghost presence became more pronounced after her mom died in 2002. Okay, that tracks. I do think
Things
she's haunted by her mom.
I think her mom is possessed Kathy. I think her mom like traded like her mom Suspiria'd into Kathy so she could live
Hmm.
like a life of luxury.
A life of luxury and a life of torturing Kyle.
Things happen like lights going on where they weren't even plugged in. My house that I live in now was built in 1882 and moved by trolley in 1912. I hear footsteps a lot. Everyone in my family has heard the footsteps. That's eerie.
Smokey Robinson previously owned the home and he confronted her about the hauntings at an Oscars party. He said, have you heard the footsteps? Wow.
Whoa.
Kyle Richards go on Otherworld. Please, I beg of you. We need
Or
this.
go on that Kristen Stewart lesbian, like queer paranormal show.
Either or go
Hmm.
on both. Why you have to choose? Don't limit oneself.
Yeah.
In this economy, monetize. Go on both.
Yeah. Wow. That's eerie.
That
Smokey
is eerie. I
Robinson.
believe it.
100%. I think LA is very haunted.
Hmm.
It's like I think it's the desperation and like shattered dreams help keep spirits and energy trapped here. And I think
Totally.
there's a lot of failed or just like bitter and like brokenhearted ghosts haunting LA.
And just like, what was this before
Nothing.
1900, you know? Um, Alec
Ilaria.
Baldwin and Hilaria Baldwin are pitching a reality show. I'm sorry to these kids in advance because they are, I mean, they're, so it's neither here nor there, but we need this now. This will save us.
Yeah, sorry to them. Sorry to
Sorry
the
to them.
Baldwinitos.
And you know what? They can start doing the work now and they can do the kind of psychic work and like psychiatric, psychological, and just psychic, energetic work on discovering what it was about their souls that placed them in this particular life.
Hmm.
And I hope that they figure it out. And I
Well, we
hope
know,
that the road has as minimal bumps as possible.
yeah, I mean, we know they're going to be in better situation than the Gosselin kids. I think like they have more money. Alec still has like a ton of money.
More money does not mean they have
No,
more access to
I
things.
just mean more access when you have that many kids is like important for like resources
Yeah, but
and
it can
things like
also
that.
fuck you over even more. I think if you have two psychotic parents,
Yeah, that's not
you
gonna
can have all
it's
the
not gonna
money in the
change
world.
that.
If you're a minor, it also doesn't matter how much money your family has. It's not like
No,
you're
I mean
gonna get it.
having Ilaria and him as parents is like probably, yeah, it's as bad as it gets.
It's as bad as it gets. And then also, not only that, but being also, imagine having 7 siblings. I would kill myself.
Imagine being Ireland Baldwin, being like, damn, I have like there's like seven siblings that are like 30 years younger than me.
Being like, my dad started an entire other family and like wiped me off the face of the planet emotionally. You're kind of dodging a bullet, though, a bit, because you don't have to be on
Yeah,
this reality show. But like,
maybe
to
she'll pop
be
in.
one of 7 and then have those be your parents and then be forced as children to be on a reality show that there's no way that these people can hide the dark and dastardly undertones of their psychotic relationship. So I think it will make great reality TV. I worry for
I,
these children, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, I was half expecting them to go full like Waco during when he still hadn't been acquitted yet. Like I was expecting them to like hold up in their Hamptons house and go full Branch Davidian.
Yeah, they could. They should do that. Just
Right?
anyways, they should start stocking up on weapons because they do have a small child army that they can deploy at any time. And that is the
Hmm.
one good thing about having 7 children
You have an
is
army.
that you create a militia underneath you. And if things go south, you just indoctrinate those 7 children to protect you at all costs.
Imagine having Ilaria as your stepmother.
You might be able to do like yoga together.
Yeah, that's true. Ireland's like, cool. My dad called me a pig when I was 11 and then married a absolute psychopath and had 8 children with her.
It's not good. Um, there's a Daily Mail article
Hmm.
that a man is really terrified that his wife has unknowingly joined a cult. She says it's a self-help group, but he knows there's something more sinister going on.
So he took to the Daily Mail.
I'm like, honey, doll,
Okay. So
this is not
what
this
kind of
is not
cult
gonna
is it?
help. Dear
Spiritual?
Jane, dear Jane, I'm concerned my wife has accidentally joined a cult. She's never been the most confident of women, and she hasn't had a lot of close personal friends in her life. But that is something she's I'm like, God, why you gotta neg
God,
this poor
don't
woman
don't
married to
blow up her
you?
spot.
Good God. That's something she's been working on changing in recent years. Right off the bat, I'm like, this is an abusive husband, and this woman
Yeah.
needs to get a divorce. He's mad
He's
that she
basically
has
like
friends now.
she's insecure.
As part of that endeavor, she joined a local self-help meditation group because she felt like that would be an easy way to start hanging around with other people without actually having to make conversation. Okay, you're a dick.
He's an
That was six
asshole.
months ago. That was 6 months ago. And now she's basically spending all of her time with this group at their clubhouse, which is the organizer's personal home. It's a remote farm that has lots of land. And somehow he's convinced my wife and the other members of the so-called meditation society to donate thousands of dollars to help him renovate it. My wife keeps telling me it's an investment for a friend and that he has promised to pay them all back. But honestly, I'm getting really concerned. When she isn't working, which seems to take up a lot less of her time these days, she's at the farm. The other day, she told me that her organizer had them all doing manual labor on the grounds, moving piles of dirt, mowing lawns, and even laying bricks for a new structure. I wish that I was this cult leader because going through
Yeah, you need it
renovation,
now.
I need a lot of hands at
Yeah.
work. and some artisans and capital, if you will.
Bricklayers.
She always returns from these meetings with a huge smile on her face, which is wonderful to see, but it's worrying me just how much time and money she's spending at this place. The other day, she let slip that some of the other members were having open relationships with one another, and that was what really pushed me over the edge. Not to seem dramatic, but this sounds like something out of a Netflix documentary, and I'm terrified that next time she comes home, she'll be telling stories about animal sacrifices, or revealing that she's about to move to this farm for good. I've tried broaching the subject with her a couple times, and she always goes on the defensive, asking why I'd want to take her friends away from her when she finally feels like she belongs for the first time in her life. I've even been asked to attend meetings with her, but she said she was concerned my, quote, bad energy would upset the balance of their meetings. How can I make her see the very clear light of day here?
Okay. Well, maybe she's spending so much time away from you because you suck. And if she wants to join a cult, they don't seem like they're doing anything that bad.
It's just like HGTV vibes to me, with like a side of some
Chip and Joanna Gaines, swingers.
Getting their wet. Also, like, maybe take her on a date and talk to her like a normal person. Why are you writing this? Why, as a man, are you writing a woman on the Daily Mail for advice?
Yeah. Yeah, you're a narc, and you're a tattletale, and you're jealous hater because your wife has more friends than you and she doesn't need you as much. So she's going to get her fix by doing downward dog on the farm. And if she wants to pay $1,200 to help someone like re-floor their kitchen, why not?
Yeah, why don't this guy should throw a big party and invite a lot of friends and invite the cult people to a party celebrating his beautiful wife and get her address. He should really watch this episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and do what PK did for Dorit. And then I think that he would find that his wife trusts him a little bit more and cares about what he says and maybe wants to spend more time with him.
Yeah, I see him as like I feel like he's like lives in like a suburb in England or something.
I feel also like this is a fake letter.
Yeah.
I'm also like, I want the cult members. I would love to just like redo my whole apartment building. So it would be great to have a cult of people who are good at home renovations, have a similar aesthetic vibe and yearn to me. And then we'll work on not only renovating the entire building from the ground up, but we'll renovate all the other people who live in the building, their apartments as well. So it actually is like community service. And my apartment's pretty much already done. So we can just do it and zhuzh on behalf of the greater good.
It's a cult of zhuzhing.
It's a cult of zhuzhing, and we don't necessarily have to like do any yoga. I don't really love working out like with friends. It's like not my jam. I am like more of a solo person going into a class. Like I can let you know which classes I'll go to. If I see you there, that's fine. But like you're a
avoidant cult leader.
Yeah. I'm like once I've gotten what I need, then I need quiet time. And I don't want to live on like a compound with everyone else like around all the time.
No, I could never be a cult leader for that reason.
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't want people like.
I don't want people around asking me questions, having to like deal with everyone's questions 24/7. I can't think of anything worse. I would like to just go live in like a villa in Rome or like Tuscany. And then we can like Zoom every once in a while, but they need to send a lot of money to be on the Zoom. And also, if I need repairs, they're gonna have to like come and repair.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, but if anyone's interested in joining just a cult for like for the rest of Q4, maybe potentially into Q1, where we do a lot of work renovating an apartment building I don't own and get nothing out of long term other than just getting to look at it and feel like this is gorgeous, then hit me up. Let's do this. But
You're
also not a lot of talking past that.
You want to feel like you're like, I live in Firenze.
I want to go in and be like, I don't want to see like uneven bricks or like bird poop on the bricks or like overgrown trees or cracks in the bricks. Like I want to go in and be like, oh God, I'm spirited away to like a gorgeous European location. Listen to the fountains. And then wave at my neighbors and go, God, aren't you so glad that your roof got patched and now there's no water leaking into your apartment anymore? They go, yes, thank you so much. And I go, thank you too. Have a great day. I'll see you around. And then we just continue to live our lives.
It could boost the morale of your...
I think it would boost the morale I want to boost the morale of the people in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And I want a cult to do that, to fund it. And then to just fade away. But always be there. Still be there. Still participate. Go back.
So you basically just want...
I want a renovation. I want to renovate.
You just want helpers. You want elves.
I want a large scale renovation.
You want to be Santa Claus, basically, and have a army of magical beings that just like Keebler elf style, or what are those elves? The cobbler elves.
They're dark-sided to me. I'd rather have humans. I want a task. I want a renovation project. I want a renovation project.
Yeah, I hear that.
But just for fun, for giggles, with no real skin in the game. I don't know why I would also do that to benefit the owner of the building.
Yeah, you're helping that woman
who clearly does not give a shit. But maybe this is the ultimate give back troll where I'm like, you know what? I just made this so much better with my cult.
Wait, speaking of buildings, before we get into this recap, so Succession star Alan Ruck drove in front of my building, drove his car into a pizza parlor on Halloween night. And I just missed seeing it by an hour.
It had already been towed away by the time you arrived on the scene.
There's still remnants, though. There's pieces of like the car bumper. He apparently hit 4 cars or something.
Okay, wait. You need to take those bumper pieces and put them on eBay like 2 days ago.
I know.
You needed to do that yesterday.
They're still there. I could.
Do it now.
There's shattered headlights, taillights, just on the... I love the city of Los Angeles, just like leave
it.
The remnants of like a multi-car crash on a busy intersection, and there's just pieces of headlight and taillight and bumpers on the sidewalk where dogs are walking. Incredible.
Los Angeles features like there's something that's incredibly LA is just like inexplicable broken glass everywhere, and especially like vehicular broken glass. Like every day I see vehicular broken glass. It's true, and the mindset is a true leave it.
Someone will do something with it. It's unbelievable.
He drove his car. People say
he drove his Rivian into a Raul's pizza place. It's right across the street from me. I see it every day, and he drove it through the wall. And apparently he was just like Raffaello's. And he drove it through the wall and was just up and at him, like talking on his cell phone, being like, damn.
What happened though?
I don't know. Apparently he was not under the influence, according to, he might have, La Brea, can be a harrowing intersection.
La Brea and Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in that intersection.
But I feel like because I saw in the videos I saw there were cars on my side of the street, and then so I think he might have hit them and then moved through the other lane. Like he was on a journey.
Yeah, I was like, did he just get a little bit bored with all his success? And he was like, you know what? The show's over.
I know.
I used to have it all, and now I just need to mix it up just a little bit. That seems like
In
a
my
fun thing to
Rivian.
do if you're him,
Yeah.
just for just to mix things up. No one got hurt, right?
I don't think so. I think he lucked it the out.
I was like, either he's just like having a laugh, or it also feels like Roadhead for some reason. I was like, was he getting a blowj at the wheel?
Like a Halloween blowjob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just obsessed. I love our city. Car parts on the ground. Eh,
Leave it.
leave it.
Damn, I know this pizza place. Oh my God, if there's footage. Where is
Of the
he?
crash,
Yeah.
I just saw the aftermath.
Whoa. This crash is strange. He bumped into someone. Something is off
Yeah,
because
something's
he was stopped behind someone, then just drove through them, then drove through an intersection, then drove into the pizza shop. This wasn't like, oh, I was driving fast and like lost control of the vehicle. It was like he was stopped slash slowed down, and then he said, you know what? F- it, and pressed the
yeah,
gas and drove.
maybe he was in like a beef style road rage battle with someone. Or
I've also
I
had a moment where I'm like, I'm gonna drive into a building. Like when
an
I've
intrusive
had
thought.
really bad anxiety at some points where I'm like, I'm just gonna drive my car into a building. So maybe
Yeah,
he was going through that, and then he actually king did it. He followed through.
he followed through with an intrusive thought. I think I also think everyone in LA is really high and like swerving and everyone just is on their phones in the car. Like you just see it, people swerving out of the lanes. And I think everyone's just like really not present. So I don't know. It's
Yeah,
wild though.
he
It's a piece
rear-ended.
of history.
It is, and you could be selling it. You could be selling like mason jars of Alan
I
Ruck's
know.
car accident on eBay to the highest bidder.
Someone would buy it.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. If
I
someone's
should
buying like
fucking do it.
Raquel's Tom Tom sweater, someone would definitely buy Alan Ruck's.
I mean, just poked his head in. I didn't know he was home. Hi, babe.
You are
I
Dorit
love you.
suffering a home invasion just now.
I was like, I heard like a ruffling, and I was like, is that the wind blind? Is that the blind in the wind? And then all of a sudden, I looked up, and Simon was just, oh wait, babe, can you get baby? Um, yeah, I think, and Succession has such a cult following.
I
It's
feel
very
really bad.
Connor.
Yeah. I feel bad for the owner of the restaurant.
Oh, they're amazing people. They're a sweet family that owns it.
This is a bizarre crash.
Yeah, it's something is up, right? It's weird.
The
It's
footage, Detective Shane Hall's on the scene from Zoom on my Detective Shane Hall's is on the iPad and saying something ain't right. Someone should really look into
something
that.
isn't right.
Not gonna be me, but you should sell. You should be monetizing this
Like
crash.
taking
There's a
pictures.
reason. Yeah.
Look,
What am I seeing?
the bumper on Hollywood, just on the sidewalk.
That's his bumper.
It's no, it was multiple cars were in this crash. But this is all from
I don't care
this
about
is
I don't care about nobody D-lister bumpers. I only care about the A-list bumper. You could tell, you could tier out the prices.
I want there to be a plaque on this wall.
I like that this has turned you into the kind of person who's just taking picture of garbage in the streets. We all will eventually be that person. Hollywood will do it again.
LA will do that to you.
It will. Halle Berry crashing into a liquor store. This is very that. She was drunk though, I'm pretty sure.
I think, yeah, I think there's a lot of, I mean, I remember one time during COVID, there was this, like the first few weeks, there was just an overturned, this is also just very LA. There was just an overturned car in the rain on the 10 and no one was attending to it. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to leave it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. Speaking of LA, I'm Carey,
I'm Lara.
and you're listening to
Sexy, unique
Unique
podcast.
Beverly
Hills Angels.
Angels. I have potentially a polarizing take.
What's that?
I wanted less. I thought Dorit, I was like, I don't need to know. I'm so over her and PK. I'm like, get away from me. I love Dorit, but I don't want to see PK.
Yeah, same. And I was also like,
That went on
wow,
for too
LA
long.
is truly in its flop era because what is this weird spawn con that's happening right now? I've never living hotel life has got me really clued in to like the price tiers, the interior design. I'm reading lots of TripAdvisor reviews. I'm keeping my finger on the pulse of what people are saying about hotels in the city. And to see the Beverly Wilshire Hotel it's like about like $1,000 a night on like a good day. Maybe you'll see it dip down to like 900 something, but it's like a very expensive luxury hotel. That interior,
I
I
was
was like,
shocked.
I
I was
would not
horrified.
pay. I would never even stay. I would actually demand a refund.
It was
What
giving
was
Ace
that?
Hotel. It was giving AC Hotel
It was. It was at AC Marriott.
in
The Boston
Cambridge.
AC Hotel in Marriott was nicer
Oh,
inside than the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. What the
I
was
I was
that?
shocked by that, and I'm like, I
Black
don't.
and white.
Oh,
Ugh,
it was awful. And
ugh. When they were in the hallway, I was like, what is going on? And then they entered the room, and I was like, this
no more luxury. We've talked
is
about
a
it.
short-term living rental.
Maybe they're actually living there.
This is like a horrific condo.
I was really chilled to the bone by like the whole like I think Dorit is an icon, but
Mhm.
I'm like I don't care about her marriage. I really don't. I don't want to see it. And I thought the whole like it was like 15 minutes long, the whole or like 20 minutes of PK and Dorit.
It was really
I'm like,
bizarre.
man, they really didn't have anything to film this episode. Like it was really hacked together. This episode I thought was a bomb. Except at
Yeah.
the end with Kyle and Mauricio, that was very tense. But otherwise,
But even that, I
I
was
hated
like,
this
I'm not
episode.
buying this. I'm not buying what they're selling. And I'm like,
I'm getting
where's the
flop.
glamour?
I'm getting flop season.
Yeah,
I'm
I knew
worried.
that. I knew it. I knew
But
it from the
I
trailer. From the moment I saw that trailer, people were excited, and I tried to be like a supportive friend. But
no,
inside, I was like, this is gonna suck.
it sucked ass. The only time I liked it was in the beginning with Dorit and Erika. So Dorit has a peek
Yeah.
peek in a cold park.
1 second though, can we talk about the Crystal's tagline? It's really bothering me.
What is it again?
She says, they say wisdom comes with age, but I'm proving otherwise. Which I know what she's trying to say, but to me, that sounds like she's insulting herself. Like they say wisdom comes, I'm also like, comes with age, you're 40. So you're
Yeah.
saying, you're like, wisdom comes with age, but I'm proving otherwise means like, I'm dumb. I'm proving otherwise.
Oh, I thought it meant like she's young, but she's wise.
Yeah, I think that's what she's trying to do. But to me, it sounds the opposite of that. To me, I'm experiencing opposite day with Crystal's tagline.
I'm also just like, do something new other than being younger than everyone. Like, do something.
Also, being 40 when everyone else is 50 isn't a flex.
Yeah. Also, yeah, you're not that young. You're 40. Like,
Once you're over
welcome to
30, it
yeah.
really is
Once
just about like, just figure it out.
you're not a young person anymore, which is okay. You're a millennial like all of us, but like, you're not that young. So just, and I listen, Crystal has brought it. she's brought it enough where I'm intrigued and I'm like
I'll accept
holding
her.
space for her, but I'm also just like, do something.
Yeah. Do something other
Dorit
than age.
Dorit has a picnic with Erika set up by Dolce Picnics. I was like,
I
so it's
know
a company
exactly
of,
where they are in Beverly Hills too. Like people
yeah,
drive by. They're like in a very public space.
they're across from like UTA
There's no like Beverly Hills, there's not like
and Live
gorgeous like
Nation.
private parks that you can go and
No.
like be like, ooh, I'm off the grid. Like, ooh, I'm feeling private. Like that's just people's backyards. So like to go into this space is like being incredibly out in the open and exposed.
Yeah, there's that one long strip of land of grass along South Santa Monica, and then there's like a park near the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it's not like,
It's not a vibe.
no, they should have gone to like Griffith Park or something.
EJ goes, ooh, it's chilly out here.
It was chilly in her
Ooh.
Mew Mew.
Mm-hmm. Um,
So this Dolce picnic is a company of these two girlies who wear like pink sundresses and they look cold as hell. And they set up this like gorgeous, and I thought it was gonna be like, oh, this is cool. Like she's doing like an English tea party for all the women. It was just for her and Erika, which was like a real flex on Dorit's part. Like, I'm
mhm.
just gonna have this like magical Mad Hatter
Maybe in
spread.
a deeply public place, it actually is like a power move. It's kind of mafia vibes. It's female mafia vibes, if you think mafia mama, some may say, to invite like a publicly shamed figure
Hmm.
into a
Hmm.
total open and exposed, vulnerable space that is not really a park, and then treat them to like this love shack fancy
Yeah, and be like,
picnic.
don't worry, you're in public. I won't whack you here, you know?
Mm-hmm. Be like, let's talk
Um,
about it. Everyone can see you. Everyone's gonna
mhm.
be looking at you.
Yeah, it's a bit chilly these days.
It's
What
very
time of
chilly.
year is it?
I
Early
think
spring?
winter. When I
Okay.
think it was a winter in LA when it was cold and rainy all the time.
And wet. I bet the grass was a little wet.
Yeah, I don't want to picnic with a side of like road dust.
Um, I just wrote I loathe.
So
Well,
Dorit's like, please, I'm sad that you said that about PK and it's bothering me. And then EJ is like, I'm sorry, I said it. I committed to the bit and then saw it through and without really thinking. And I apologize for that. And
dude, I'm
then
sorry I
she
said
said,
it. I was on the stage.
then she says, if I would have known, I would have ruined someone else's life. It's like, I'm loving her. She's Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah, Dorit's like, look, at the time, the reason why I was so triggered by it is because PK and I were actually having like some hiccups at home because he was basically annoyed with me that I wouldn't recover as quickly as he wanted me to.
Yeah. Dorit has, you said this offline, but she's been cursed by something. Like she says she took 10. This was also, is this how people shop? I'm like unclear. Taking 10 grand in cash out of the bank account to go shopping. And then she had it in her purse. And then she was like at the grocery store or something and like turned to look for her purse and her purse wasn't there and it had been stolen. And then
Either that or at the bank. Like she was like going to the bank to get it and like she turned I thought it was that.
I thought she said I took 10 grand out of the bank to go Christmas shopping and I put it in my purse. Then I went to the grocery store and
She'd been
I
followed
went
by
to
three
check
men.
out. I'm like, what? Like, is that just what rich people do is take cash out?
Probably.
Don't you want points?
Supposed to pay for everything. She probably just wants like everything to be paid off. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I'm like,
But
how are
she
you gonna like I always know where my purse is. That's at least one thing you can say about me is that like I'm in a place of clutch with my purse 24/7. And there's no
I,
cash in there.
I thought she was gonna say like she had this like moment where she thought her purse was stolen and then she realized like it and she but it brought it like triggered
No,
her
but she was
PTSD. But
followed
she was followed by
by
three
three men.
men, which I was like, okay,
Like, what
that
kind of
happens.
things are you buying that you need to have cash? 10K. Something's not adding up, but then I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, you are cursed.
But I'm
But
also
also just
like,
like keep an eye on your belongings.
I'm continuing to be like, how are they so rich? It happened overnight. They were like renting before and seemed like they were like sort of putting on airs a little bit. And then suddenly they came into like serious money and bought their house. I don't know what's the deal. They like
Yeah, I don't
don't
know
it
either.
came on fast, right?
I don't remember because I didn't watch seasons like 5 through. I
They
stopped at
weren't
season 5 and then I re-engaged during Loosey Goosey Apple Juicy. So don't ask
mhm.
me. By that time, what was done, and all I knew was that Dorit got a dog and then said goodbye.
um just another day in Los Angeles. Sutton and
Shout out
Garcelle
to
are hmm?
shout out to Tim Hayland, whose art is on Sutton's wall and is clearly seen in the establishing shot of her house. Tim was on an old vintage Pumped podcast episode, and he
Wow.
is hilarious and also an incredibly talented artist.
Go Tim.
I know.
Sutton and Garcelle are throwing a 40th birthday trip for Vegas or for Crystal in Vegas. And she's FaceTiming with Garcelle, and in the back seat you see one of her sons. And I just felt triggered because of how they were with her last time.
Yeah. She's in the throes of getting like manipulated by teenagers, and I have a lot of empathy, but I'm also like, it's incredible birth control.
Hmm.
Um, Sutton's matchmaker comes over to do an intake with her. And I just need to know, does Sutton own a Monet? Was that a Monet?
I thought it looked like one. She might. She's rich.
I know, but that was truly, I've never seen a flex like that.
Yeah, that was a big
I think it might be. I don't think she's the kind of person.
no. She could. She's a lot of. I mean, she gets
I
300
mean,
grand a month.
I'm not clear. I'm not clear on my
Art history.
impressionist artists. So I don't know if there are a
Hmm.
lot of people out there doing what Monet did. But to me, as someone that I literally just went to a museum in Japan in the winter and saw a bunch of Monets like in the flesh. And I was like, that is a Monet, I'm pretty sure. And it's not blurred, which means because you have to like blur the art unless you get the release, or I would assume unless you own the actual Monet.
I would not be
I need a
surprised if
fact
she had a.
checker.
I bet she has a real one.
I'm sad that Caroline is on her way to BravoCon right now because this would be we need boots on the ground about Sutton's maybe Monet.
Yeah, Caroline will be giving us dispatches.
So
Alessandra comes and she goes, "What's going on?" And Sutton goes, "I don't know."
So Sutton's done with the apps and she's commissioned this woman to like find her a tall, handsome man. And Sutton says she gets asked on first dates, but she never goes on second dates. And then she goes, I'm a first child and I'm an overachiever. And I was like, Sutton and I are one in that way.
She goes, "I'm what you'd call a one date wonder."
But
She
also,
goes,
I feel like Sutton probably meets a lot of flops. And I relate. It's like, I don't go on a lot of second dates because the first date, I'm like, I never want to see this person again. I can live with my
"Yeah,
whole rest of my life without this person. And I can't wait to even forget that this happened.
90% of first dates are god awful."
Yeah. Or you're just like, why? You're like, thank you for dinner. Thank you for being a gentleman. I
Dinner.
won't be kissing you. And goodbye. Don't
Goodbye.
call.
I always just did drinks. No dinner for me.
I'll do dinner. I can talk to set. The thing is, I'm a great talker. I can talk for an hour to a man who makes it a good dinner reservation and like takes the lead on that. I'm down.
Mm,
But
I
if it's
keep it
not
short
a
and sweet.
vibe, yeah.
Um, Alessandra's like, well, I think I'm a big believer in letting the man lead. And Sutton was like, why would I do that?
She's like, I have the money.
Yeah,
I think though that Sutton, I have faith in this matchmaker, but I'm also like, I want Sutton to enter her like Glenn Close marrying a billionaire era.
did Glenn Close marry a billionaire?
Yeah, she's married to a billionaire.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
God, I love Glenn Close. I did not know that.
Yeah, I just saw it.
He looked like her. Wow, he has 8.59 billion. Damn.
Mm. Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
saying. I want that for Sutton.
yeah. Yeah, she needs someone who's like a sub, but with a lot of money, who can meet her.
But I think she ultimately wants to be domed, but it's hard when you're a woman of a certain age and you have a lot of money to meet a man who is like comfortable with that. Like you are going to need to get into like the right spaces and the right rooms in order to meet men who A aren't threatened by that and then
Yeah.
B also like who can match you or have more money.
She said, I have a bigger intellect than most.
I believe that.
She said, my ex-husband would only let me plan the summer vacations because he would only come for the last week. I was like, damn. I saw that
Very like,
whole,
yeah, housewife life. Also, I'm like, after a certain age, I understand like wanting to get back out there, but I'm also like, just be rich with your best friend Jennifer Tilly and like see what happens.
yeah, you have adult children, like you're good.
Yeah. But I get it. Like if you
She
met,
wants
it would be
companionship.
nice to like meet someone and have companionship. But yeah, I think it's like she just needs to go out more.
Look at Kris Jenner. She's got the best deal ever.
I know. But she's also, does Corey have as much money as her?
No, I'm just saying she found someone that like is crazy about her. And she just kind of like moves through life with him.
Hmm.
They have fun. They get high together. They
Yeah. I feel like Sutton, I get a sense that she's like more traditional or like wouldn't be okay really with someone who has a lot less money than she does.
yeah.
Or it'd be hard, but maybe not. I don't know.
Crystal goes for an
Crystal's
early lunch at Gracias Madre with Rob and her brother Jeff. And there's
Jeff
a
is the
song.
Justin Bieber of China.
Yeah, I remember her saying that. There's a song playing over in the transition between scenes, and I thought it said, I'm a big balls, I'm a big balls, I'm a big balls. Jeff has a lot of Botox, and he seems a little gay.
I think that's just like an aged pop star is always going to seem kind of gay if you're a man.
I think Crystal, I think those are the men that she has in her life who are like, seem a little like closeted, but maybe are just straight.
Like her husband.
Hmm.
I think you're just sensing like a beta energy from her husband
Hmm.
because he just seems like a straight like pussy to me.
He was engaged to a woman, Jeff, and was living in China. And when COVID broke out, Crystal basically demanded that he come home to the U or like come back to the US to be with her and their parents. And the fiance that he was engaged to didn't only had a Chinese passport, so she couldn't go. And that was like kind of how their relationship ended. So she says that I think Jeff blames me.
That's rough, but also, I mean, he made the choice. Clearly, if you really want to be with someone, you'll stay.
Mm-hmm. Crystal, he's basically like, I don't think anyone I'm going to be with is going to be good enough for you.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Kyle just got a new Range Rover called a Range Rover autobiography that is $165,000. And I just have to say, whenever a housewife gets the Range Rover of their dreams, an angel gets its wings.
It's true.
Nothing makes me happier than a real housewife taking to the range. It is
Mm-hmm.
the housewife way. You are not complete unless you have a Range Rover. And as much as I criticize Monica and her Range Rover, I understand.
It's
Like when
essential.
you're a housewife, you do need a Range Rover.
My sister has one.
You need a Range Rover.
Yeah.
I'm not a housewife, and the Range Rover calls to me.
Me too.
Like, I can't wait to one day hopefully take to the range. I hope that
Um,
global warming doesn't just destroy California. I hope that I can
well,
one day,
we're
I
too
know the
late for
clock is
that.
ticking. The saddest thing, many tragedies going on right now as we speak, but perhaps the saddest thing is that California will sink into the sea or be destroyed by an earthquake before I can purchase my own Range Rover and take to the streets of
Tragic.
LA in a range.
Drive over to Gelson's.
I drive and pick you up, drive you around the block, drop you back off.
Yeah, it's very you with like the sun. The
I
Kardashians all
drive
have Range
frantically.
Rovers, I feel like.
You really need a Range Rover. Like if you don't, you're actually oppressed at this point. It's the haves and the have nots. And the big
You
question
need to be
is,
the
do you have
have.
a range? Do you have a Range Rover or not? And honestly, when drama is happening,
You need a range
you need
to
a place,
flee.
you need a car that's also like a second home to take to and feel very like small in your heavy, 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 heavy car with like tinted windows and like a luxe interior so that you can just like really think things
Cry.
through. And you can cry in the range. You can just drive fast with purpose. You can scream in the range. It's far more soundproof than other cars, I'm sure.
You can hit a deer and keep going.
You could hit a human and maybe get away with it. More
You could
likely to
be
get
like
away.
Alan
You're
Ruck.
more likely to get away with committing vehicular homicide if you have a Range Rover versus if you have some jalopy. We can all be honest and agree about that. That is a fact.
Well, Kyle can run over someone twice if she wanted to. She picks Dorit up because PK is arranging a surprise for Dorit for their anniversary, and he's enlisted Kyle to pick her up without telling her where she's going. So
Mm-hmm.
Kyle dutifully takes, even though she's like in the midst of this whole thing, she's like, I'll do this. And Dorit gets in the car and she goes, Kyle, I'm so glad we have this time because I wanted to talk to you. She goes, I'm just sensing that there's a heaviness with you. Is everything all right with you and Mo?
There's such
I
a
was like, oh,
heaviness.
there's a heaviness. She goes, PK and I, in her confessional, we used to have dinner with Kyle and Mauricio all the time. We'd go on vacations together. She goes, and lately we haven't seen them together in months. Something is not right here. I just know it. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
So she asks Kyle a bunch of questions and then Kyle doesn't answer them. But that is the power of the range. When
Hmm?
you have a brand new Range Rover and you pick your friend up and they ask you a lot of questions about your failing marriage, you don't have to answer anymore. And you can just be like coy and sigh and kind of look out the window. You can shrug. You can just like turn the wheel. You can take your time with a turn and just kind of be like, I don't know. What are you talking
Kyle's
about?
Kyle's whole vibe this episode is very like a knowing smirk.
But with a
She's,
lesbian
oh
element to
yeah.
it.
She's like, look, Mauricio and I just needed a little space. I needed space from him. And I was like, yeah, and Morgan's
You
pussy.
found space between Morgan Wade's legs.
Um,
Casa, she
like I
just
needed a
needed
little freedom.
freedom. Yeah. And that's also something, the range makes you feel even freer.
Yeah, it's very. I drove all night to
You're
get
freer
to
than you've ever
you.
been.
She's definitely played that driving over to Morgan's.
Hmm. I'll bet she and Morgan have in the range.
There's something about Kyle that's just different.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
that
this secret. I
she's
love his sexy secret.
her fully formed, like an explored sexuality
Hmm.
has given her, she's, I honestly like so interesting now, where she was very uninteresting in the past. Like what you saw was what you get. You kind of just always knew what Kyle was doing or thinking because she wore all her emotions on her sleeve. And now she is a woman with a secret.
Well, before she felt like she had to be a certain way because of how Kim was, and I think Kathy, and like she felt like she had to be perfect and everything had to be like traditional and like she had the most perfect life and the best husband and you know what I mean? And I think something just clicked, aka like Mauricio being a dog enough times where she was like, this, I'm a lesbian.
Hmm.
I don't need to
I,
be perfect. I am perfect.
hmm
She's very, I feel like she's very, Kyle is like a pink lesbian,
like
like listening.
listens to Pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Dun, dun,
definitely
dun, dun,
blasted.
dun,
Like,
dun, dun, dun.
don't be put out of my head, dirty little freaks. And I
We
will
will
never need
never
to
be,
be.
never be
Yeah, she's,
anything but
can you
loud.
imagine?
Pretty,
Like,
pretty.
Kyle gets in the range and you know it has such a good sound system and she pushes play on that Pink song and just rocks the out.
Raise your glass. Just coming in, rain.
Raise your glass. She rolls
Um,
down the window at like a person just standing at the bus stop and she's like, and we will never be, and
and
like,
then they go, dirty little freaks. And then everyone in LA, yeah. And she goes,
yeah. She goes, you know what? Get in. Just get in. Let's go. Where do you need to go? She's
there's 12
giving just like
people.
bus stop people. Yeah. She's like, get on, get in here. Get in. This
She
is
says to
new.
the actual bus driver, she goes, you get in too.
And
Leave
he
the
goes, you
bus.
know what? Yeah. And he gets in.
And they all just are blasting.
No,
No, no, no.
we will never be. Some like person is like hanging out the. Mhm. He
Hereditary
fully gets
style.
like, I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
And then when the song's over, she just pulls over and she's like, get out.
get out of my
Anyway,
car.
get out of my Range Rover.
Never talk to me again.
This is new. Who are you? Oh my God. Dorit in her talking head. I need to have everyone hold space for this.
That
She's
outfit.
literally the Gilded Age.
No, speaking of
She,
Christine Baranski, I wrote she literally looks like Christine Baranski in The
Cream
Grinch.
Baranski.
In The
She is
Grinch.
the Gilded Age. This
I've
is
never seen
truly. I was like, excuse me?
she's literally Carrie Coon and
She is. She's
Cynthia Nixon. Wait, in The Gilded Age, is Cynthia Nixon's character supposed to be like something wrong with her?
I don't know. I
She's
haven't
a little
watched like a
she's a little
every
basement girl
day.
energy. I've watched it.
Well, then you would know what's going on.
No, but like I haven't watched it. I've watched like 3 episodes, but I was like, something's up with her.
People seem to be really into it, and it is like a HBO show. So I'm like, okay, the
It's a
clock's
huge
ticking.
budget.
I'm like, I do love a period piece, and I'm ready to engage with the Gilded Age. And now seeing Dorit do Gilded Age SpawnCon cosplay sold me.
Push you to the limit. Um, Garcelle and Sutton are having a little lunch. Sutton loves a power lunch.
Hmm.
And Sutton's talking about her marriage, and she goes, I wasn't invited to the boardroom of the marriage. Everyone knows the boardroom is where the power is. And Garcelle goes, you gave over your power to him. And I was like, damn, if Garcelle ever said that to me, I'd like jump into the ocean.
I know.
And then Garcelle starts crying, which is like Garcelle doesn't really cry that much on the show.
No, I feel
So
for
it's
her.
she's like, I really feel like I've been doing a lot of like Dark Night of the Soul since my son, you know,
Since my son pulled the ultimate divorce manipulation on me, which is to shame your parent for not being there and then also be like, I want more freedom and I want to go live with dad. I was like, this horse and pony show, I know it too well.
and Sutton goes, well, Garcelle, you have to remember teenage boys are kind of it was like she's right.
Amen, sister. Amen.
But
I'm
Garcelle feels
on,
like she failed as a I'm like, no.
but if your kid said that to you, you would feel
Oh,
so
of
bad.
course. No, I'm just like, don't doubt
You
yourself.
can't let him have like an extended curfew because of that.
Your husband's the one that had the affair. He's the reason why you
You're
got
just
divorced.
working.
Yeah.
I'm on a real Sutton kick with like her food situation. Like after last week's
Mm.
episode when she had those Jones on Third Chinese chicken salads at
Ugh.
her
Yes.
atelier, I literally have had a Jones on Third Chinese chicken salad every day for the past 3 days.
I love it.
That and a Diet Coke.
Mm.
I want to go to Sutton's house and have her order Postmates and just like hang by the Monet and
You probably
talk about
could.
life. I feel like, why
Could
not?
could happen. Just get in
Let's
touch
just
with
do it. Let's
her
just
gay
do it.
assistant.
I think I've met him actually. She invited, I got the invite to the store.
Yeah.
I
Be
gotta
like,
work on I gotta work on this.
Kyle brings Dorit, parks the car at the Beverly, what is it? Beverly
The
Wilshire.
I'm telling you,
PK basically wants to do a whole pretty woman like recreation, and because that's where they are in the movie. The movie, it looked nice. That was in the
yeah.
90s.
But I like that like late 80s, early night. I like that kind of in a hotel of that stature, that kind of like gilded, like
Hmm.
Joan Rivers interior, like lush
It's like Chateau
curtains.
a little bit.
Chateau Marmont.
The rooms are like kind of grand in that hotel. It feels like more grand than like this place.
Yeah, or they have like a warmth and a vibe. There's no
Mhm.
vibe to like corporate condo life.
No. Um, Kyle brings Dorit up to the suite. This is very lesbian coded. I liked it. It's like, come on,
She
I'll bring
throws her
you
on
a.
the bed.
Dorit is not impressed with the food array, which
I
I'm like,
wouldn't, if I was like, are you bringing me here to kill me? Like, that's, I would also have a panic attack. Like, seeing the halls in the room, I'd be like, what's going on here?
yeah, she's a
I'm trying
full
to end my
freak
life.
out.
Yeah.
She's like, you're bringing me here to eat bad crew today and like get my whacked.
I'm also like, I don't trust a hotel, like a luxury hotel that's like, you can film here, do whatever you
Hmm.
want. I'm like,
Yeah.
they're in
Hmm.
trouble. This is not glamorous, nor is it luxe anymore.
She goes, where are my
In the
children?
truth.
Where are my children? And Kyle goes, we're gonna figure that out. It's all good. She goes, where are they? I need to know where they are. She goes, tell PK. This is unbelievable. Where is everyone? Where am I?
I'm just not buying, I just don't buy this.
What? That she was
The
surprised?
Yeah, or like the freak out. Like, what is there to freak out about? You're on a show. You're
It
not
was
getting wrong.
stupid.
Like, it was stupid.
The whole thing was dumb. I wanted to this whole chunk was so boring to me.
It was really bizarre. Who did this? They should get fired. I don't believe really in calling for people to get fired for things with this. Okay, not fired, but I think that
A
there
stern
should
talking
be a
to.
stern talking to and just like a sit down. And they need to really wrap their heads around what they did wrong and apologize for it. And then they'll be under review. And hopefully there
Hmm.
won't be any more missteps. But they can just guarantee that they'll do better in the future. And that we don't want to see 15 minutes of like a weird. So I don't even know what that was. What
Her
was that
glam,
for?
they bring in like a thing of red dresses that like Julia wears in the movie. She meets PK down at the bar that Julia meets Richard Gere at.
I was
And
like, there's no one in this hotel right now. It's freaking me out.
it's freaking me out. And then he presents her with a $5 million diamond necklace. I
The
was like,
loner.
I know it's for like for rent, but like I'm my whole thing is like if you were just robbed, if you're having all this PTSD, like I would because like you have all these nice things and people clearly knew about it, I wouldn't display I wouldn't even like even if it was like a loner, I wouldn't do any of this on TV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what the point of it is. I'd rather just go to like a really expensive dinner at like the nicest restaurant that's actually good, not just like expensive. So you think it's good.
So she puts on the necklace and he takes her right back up to the room where she came from. And singing in there is Berlin. They're singing Take My Breath Away. And she did not sound that great.
She sounded horrible. I was like, are you trying to torch this band's career right now?
I guess he's like, is he like their manager? Like, I don't know how he's related to them, but it seemed like they all knew each other. Take my breath away.
I'm
Even though it was
freaked
from
out by the
Top
whole
Gun.
thing. I don't like it at all.
It
I
should
don't
have
know
been,
what the point of it was, and it feels sinister and it feels like why?
I was like, why don't you just have someone singing Pretty Woman?
That also is not the song you want to like dance to romantically. You want to do like the twist to Pretty Woman.
Like an a cappella Pretty Woman.
What? Like a barbershop quartet?
No, like a cover Pretty Woman where you like turn it into
Like a pretty woman
yeah, or something.
walk. The romance of an a cappella slowly sung
Well, it sounds
Pretty
better
Woman.
than hearing like a gasping version of Take My Breath Away in the middle of the hotel suite.
Damn
Ooh,
it.
something with a little zest.
I'm
Um,
just not buying what they're selling anymore.
I also don't like joint interviews. Get that away from me. I don't want PK and Dorit to be in the same interview. Like their whole like, we're just a fun, zany couple. I'm like Lucy and he's like Rick. It's like, shut the up. I don't want to see them together. It's freaking me out. Get away from me.
Yeah. Then we
I
get
wrote
to
they
like,
are really out of plot lines this season.
mhm. Then we get into like Kyle and Mauricio stuff where I'm like, this also feels kind of fake. I love
This,
Portia being 15. She's such like a delightful young woman now. I can't believe we've known this child since she was a baby.
I know. Yeah, she was
It's
like 3.
crazy. Yeah.
I felt like the tension was very real. Kyle looked so reluctant to be like talking to his family. Like she seemed very not into talking to Estelle, his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I was very like I had a knot in my stomach watching it as like a codependent Al-Anon person.
I don't know why. I just like don't believe that this is like the way they're trying to show it. Like it's going down in real time. Like this is how their
Yeah,
family is
maybe
finding
they
out.
filmed it
And I
after or
just don't
something.
think, I'm not buying it.
Yeah, they're setting up for the birthday. Mauricio's sister and his parents are coming. Kyle's BFF is coming, that who like is like a civilian, and all the daughters are there. And Mauricio's just like, "Ugh." His voice now to me, I'm like, I feel like repelled by him now, and his voice is very noxious to me. He's so loud. He's just like this, like just oaf.
There's something about him when he's no longer with Kyle that he becomes like a turnoff. Like if
Yeah,
he
she gave
can't,
him.
there's something about him that he's much sexier when he's married to Kyle. And like I want to Mauricio, but I want to him under the guise that he's cheating on Kyle with me. But when he's single and he's not with Kyle, ugh,
He
it's
become yeah,
loser. It's it's a pig.
he becomes a
She actually
middle-aged
gives
pig.
him, she boosts his profile in that way.
Well, it's like Ariana and Tom. Like she gives him credibility, and Kyle gave Mauricio. Also, Kyle gave Mauricio like he owes a lot of his success to her for being like in proximity to her. I think the Hilton
Hmm.
connection, the profile of being on the show. I think the agency sort of exploded because he was well known from being on. I think it helped him, and I think he owes a lot of his success to her. And he's out setting up the agencies all over the place, even in Portugal. And I'm like, he's getting his dick wet all over the America
I
and
know
in
even
Europe.
Rodeo works for the agency now.
Oh yeah. But he's like, yeah, I was in Portugal. I'm in New York, Portugal, Aspen. And I'm like, you're having affairs all over the place.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, my husband is like gonna be like a late in life, like really wealthy businessman. And like I just would rather us be like traveling and like having threesomes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Or just like have him be at home. I don't know. It would be hard.
His mom, who's very chic, goes up to Kyle and she's like, is everything okay with you and Mo? She's like, I keep seeing stuff in the news and it's really upsetting me that things are bad between you guys. And Kyle's like, yeah, we're fine.
His dad looks so much like him. I like didn't ever realize that. I don't know
So
if
does
I've
his
seen his
mom.
dad before. I know. It's weird. They also kind of look like each other.
What if his mom was Mauricio with a wig, like Norman Bates?
They've never been seen in the same room.
They're like, she's like a chic therapist from Mexico City.
I like
Um,
her.
but she seems like she seems. I mean, if this is all real, we're assuming it's probably like produced in some like set up to be like this tense dinner. But she does seem like legit, like nervous about their. Everyone seems like they're uncomfortable because Kyle Mauricio just like every time he comes near her, her body stiffens. Like
The body language is bad.
she can't be near him. She's just always like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, everything's fine. And then at one point, her
I
mom's
wonder
like,
like
I heard you
what
got a tattoo.
happened. I feel like with something like that, it's like someone like I don't think we would ever know because she would want to protect him from like and protect her kids from like having some sort of public thing. But I feel like in a situation like that where you're with a guy for so long, you know that he's like horny and you're probably like, whatever you do, don't just like don't embarrass me and you need to like be here for me and our family. So like if you need to like hook up with other people, you can do it, but like I feel like it's like there was a line that was super, super crossed. And then it was just like, I'm done. But we'll
And
never know
he's
what it was because they're good at keeping secrets like that.
and he's embarrassed because he knows he up. So
Yeah, but
he's now being kind of like cunty to her because that's what a
mhm,
lot of people who are narcissistic when they know they've done something wrong, sometimes they double down and like go on the offense.
mhm.
Um, but he like at one point Estelle's like, "Did you get a tattoo?" And Kyle's like, "Yes, I got a tattoo." And or no, Kyle tells her, "I got a tattoo." And Estelle's like, "I'm fine with that" because she's very conservative and like traditional. And then Kyle's like, she's like, "Did you get one of Mauricio's name?" And Kyle went, "No." And then Estelle goes, "Does he have one?" And Kyle goes, "I don't know, maybe."
Yeah,
And then he gets
Kyle's
really
way too
mad.
hardcore.
He gets super mad that she alluded that he has a tattoo to the mom. And then it becomes like they're bickering. He's like, "Oh, you didn't need to say it right now on this night."
Yeah, that was weird. And maybe I'm just like thinking it's not real because we've not seen them super bicker like that before. Like they usually are on the same page. So it's just out of character. But I don't know. It's just not hitting for me. I am
Hmm.
excited though for Sutton's flip out in Vegas.
Oh yeah, they go to Vegas.
And why
They get on the
I'm like,
plane.
I want to go to Vegas. Like this was like, oh my
I
God, like
know.
this looks like glam.
Why are we not
Even
at
if it's fake
BravoCon?
glam, I don't know. I didn't want to pay for that.
No. They're staying at Hilton World.
Yeah, that's
Kathy.
where Katy Perry was.
Oh.
I didn't
Um,
stay there, but that's like the hotel where she was performing.
Erica goes, I'm gonna take you all to Magic Mike.
That I would be like, I'll pass on that.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't we as a society just like grown past like a Magic Mike type of thing? Like, can't we just agree that that was like a thing, but really it's over? And like, do we really need it?
I
No.
watched that new movie for a half hour.
I'm sure you did.
It was bad.
I'm sure it was. Like,
You're
what?
sure I did because I watched bad movies.
Because you love to watch like a really bad movie.
I like to see if something's new, I'll watch it.
Yeah. You like to see what's out there, but what's
Hmm.
out there is really bad. But
Hmm.
you have your finger on the pulse of things like The Nun 2 and Magic Mike Final Dance.
Final Destination.
Final Magic Mike's Final Destination.
Well, apparently in the the next episode teaser, Erica's getting like basically her pussy eaten through her leather pants by one of the strippers on stage in front of everyone. Like she gets like picked to go up, and then Sutton is so repulsed and recoiled that she leaves. She goes, I'm leaving. I can't watch this. I can't watch this. I'm out of here.
I
Which I'm
wonder if
like,
that's really what it's about.
yeah, did she like one of that? Like, did she want to? I don't know. Something's up. And then you see her, Kyle, she goes, you're being a real right now, Kyle. And Kyle goes, you're being a.
Yeah. So I'm in for a fight.
I like when Sutton just randomly will freak out about something. I like when she was going to Teddy Mellencamp's like eating disorder cult retreat, and she went, I'm
Just
gonna cry.
crying.
I was like, I feel that.
Yeah, I would too be like really overwhelmed by that.
Well, hopefully the next episode will pick it up a little because this was a doozy of an episode to get through.
Yeah, and also like we may skip some episodes. Like I'm not committed to having to recap every single
Ooh.
episode of a show. I'm truly life is short and you can't be forced to do things and engage with a flop. We don't work
It's
for
true.
them, they work for us.
It's true. We have to remember that.
So we'll just see. We'll keep you guys posted, but in any event, you still get an episode every week.
As my
And
friend
maybe
in
we'll think
college
of
said,
something else.
we'll play it by year.
We'll play it by year.
I had a friend who thought it was year.
Yeah, we'll play it by year.
Let's do a cult shout out.
Let's do it.
It's a cult shout out. 22 members.
23. Wow.
23.
Growing. Guys, get in touch about the renovation project. Let's do this. I know you guys live all over the world, but you can fly here on your
We're
own dime.
international in our cult.
We're going to do that. Lucy from London.
Lucy from London.
Brooke Johansson.
Johansson.
Danielle McMillan.
Millen.
Lady Swamp, which gives no
Gives no
Mazatov.
Tav.
Diana Conky.
Conky.
Mary.
Mary.
Eliza Twaddle, week 2078.
Eliza Twaddle Week 2078.
Maisie McKierney.
Maisie McKean.
Mike Earhart.
Earhart.
Sharon Baum, realtor.
Realtor.
Courtney Kesselman.
Cousin
Carrie Whitner.
Whitmer.
Housley.
Owsley.
Mariah Kay.
Okay.
Kathy West.
Kathy West.
Rochelle Martino.
Tino.
Kit Moore.
Kit Moore.
Orlando.
Orlando.
Nick Sideris.
Sedaris.
Emily.
Emily.
Kim Lucas.
Lucas.
Jeffrey
Pratama. Pratama.
Love you guys. Thank you for engaging. Oh my God. Oh no, I was wrong. What was that? No, that's a different one. Don't listen to me.
Stay true, and we wish Laura more luck on her, and hopefully she'll be back in her home soon.
Stay true. My dark journey has led me all the way to checking into Hotel Ziggy today.
We need a boots on the ground. Maybe you need to go live. Do we need to go live when you're there?
Yeah, I think we'll need to go live because okay, yeah, I'm really actually having a very Vanderpump day because I'm going to Hotel Ziggy and then I'm gonna go to Tom. I'm checking into Hotel Ziggy and I'm eating at Tom Tom tonight. So I'm really things are happening and we'll go live tonight. That feels cool. Right to me.
Yeah.
And I also was like, not only is this a cheap place to stay and they don't have a pet fee, so that's why I booked it, but I was also like, it's research and it's a write-off at the end of the day.
Absolutely. It's work.
So wish me luck and
good luck at Ziggs.
We'll see you on the live. And guys, since this is getting posted when the live has already happened, thanks for joining the live.
Ta-ta!
Bye.